parents are vital partners in the development of their students' individual educational plan. But there are times when parents and other IEP team members have differing perspectives on a student's educational needs. The facilitated IEP process can be an effective way of preventing or resolving disputes in these situations. A trained school district facilitator guides the IEP meeting, helping participants stay on task, encouraging them to share their views and listen to the views of others, and keeping the focus on the needs of the student. The school district may suggest a facilitated IEP meeting, or the family may request one when there are concerns about the team's ability to agree on the student's services and supports. The facilitated IEP process can help school districts and families solve problems, avoid delays in providing services, and build more effective relationships as they work together to meet the needs of the student. The vignettes you are about to see demonstrate the facilitated IEP process. In this first vignette, you'll hear from one parent describing the process to another parent. Then you'll see a facilitator help an IEP team work their way through the meeting agenda, checking that all participants understand what's happened so far and making sure they understand what is being proposed.
So, how's Tyler?
I have to tell you, Jacqueline, I am so frustrated right now. I'm thinking of filing a complaint. I'm worried Tyler is not going to succeed in kindergarten without a full-time aide, but the IEP team just is not listening to me.
Renee, I totally understand. I remember feeling the same way when we were trying to figure out what services to put on Tanya's IEP. But then the school suggested we have a facilitated IEP meeting.
A facilitated IEP? I haven't heard of that before.
Let me tell you about mine. Before the meeting, we'd been having trouble agreeing on where Tanya would receive her language services. They were pulling her out of PE, which really upset Tanya, so they were talking about taking her out of social studies or science instead.
Thank you, everyone, for your work in getting us to this point. It seems like everyone at this table agrees about Tanya's present levels of performance, her strengths, the effects of her disability on her school performance. We've also talked about Tanya's goals, and we've agreed on the services that Tanya will receive. Does anyone have any questions or concerns about what we've done so far? Ms. Smith, did you have anything else in your notes that you wanted to cover as far as those first 5 items?
No, I believe we've covered everything in my notes.
Okay, then our next step is to talk about Tanya's placement. I know this is where our agreement has broken down before, so I want to make sure that we take time to understand everyone's concerns and come to a decision that will meet Tanya's needs. Ms. Smith, I think I heard you say that you want Tanya to be in her regular classroom 100% of the time. Is that an accurate reflection of what you meant?
Yes, I'd like Tanya to be in her class as much as possible. I was very concerned about a 5th grader being pulled out of her academics and how that might affect her in middle school. And of course, Tanya did not want to miss PE. She really didn't want to miss any time with her friends, so I proposed that she stay in her regular 5th grade classroom all day, every day.
Okay, does everyone understand the 3 placement options? Does anyone have any questions or need more information? Are there any other options we can put on the table?
Miss Smith, Tanya, I already come into that 5th grade classroom twice a week to work with a few other students. What if you join that group?
Isn't that when my class works on vocabulary lessons?
Yes, it is. Mr. Maxwell, do you think that would work for you?
Yes, Ms. Jenkins.
The classroom teacher also wanted us to find out whether there was any assistive technology that could help Tanya be more independent in the classroom. I hadn't even thought about that, but the ESE teacher agreed and thought we should have an assistive technology evaluation. That made sense, so we decided to do that. It was really productive, and I really felt like I was a part of the team.
In this vignette, you'll see the facilitator remind the team of the ground rules they agreed to before the meeting. The facilitator doesn't offer opinions about the student services or supports. However, she does make suggestions about how to move the process forward when the team gets bogged down.
Jacqueline, thanks for telling me about the facilitated IEP meetings. We tried it and I felt very good about the process.
I'm glad to hear that, Renee.
I mean, I didn't get everything I wanted, but I could tell that everyone understood where I was coming from and they had Tyler's best interests in mind. We all want to help him improve his behavior.
The facilitated IEP meetings can definitely help with communication.
So that is the agenda for the meeting. And now I'd like to go over the ground rules that will help us achieve our goal.
The process the facilitator used made me feel like we were all partners in developing the IEP, and she kept us focused on our goal. She wouldn't let us get sidetracked talking about other issues.
Okay, you all agree that Tyler is having difficulty staying on task, and that when the class is working on something that he does not like, he will back out of that activity and hide or even leave the room. I'm going to write that down for a moment, okay? Okay, now what is going well for Tyler at school?
Well, the art teacher told me that Tyler's been working well in art special area and doing very well and cleaning up his materials afterwards.
Yes, Tyler loves art.
Well, and the art teacher told me he even helped another child who is having a hard time gluing foam pieces together.
That's helpful. How about if I write on the board that Tyler's demonstrating positive behavior during activities he prefers, such as art? What else can we agree on?
Well, we all want to keep Tyler safe, and we want him to make progress in his reading and math and getting along better with the other children.
Does anyone have anything to add to that? Okay, let's work on some specific goals for Tyler.
We didn't have much problem agreeing on goals. The real sticking points were the services and the placement.
Ms. Jones, you're saying that you think the school should provide a full-time aide for Tyler immediately in order to provide the supports that he needs. Is that right?
Yes. But the school people just won't agree. They don't want to spend the money on an aide.
I cannot
really
We're trying to make sure there are a lot of people. It's
Folks, let's remember the ground rules we established. We agreed that we would respect everyone's participation and we would really listen to what everyone has to say. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. Okay, let's hear from one of the school staff. Does anyone feel comfortable addressing what Ms. Jones has said?
I do. Tyler may need a full-time aide, but we just don't know that yet. I mean, we're just in the beginning process of trying to understand Tyler's behavior and trying to help him control his behavior. Ms. Green has been doing her best, but I agree with you. It's not working. She needs more support. However, if we do a functional behavior assessment, that's going to tell us a lot about what's going on with Tyler's behavior. And that will help us choose the right strategies and services. I mean, to bring in a full-time aide right now, that will be a dramatic change for Tyler and the rest of the students. We might get a better result if we choose a more targeted approach.
I think that's a good point, Ms. Jackson. We don't want to limit Tyler's independence, and we want him to be in the least restrictive environment possible. We just have to choose a strategy more carefully. I think a functional behavioral assessment is actually a really good idea in this situation.
Mr. and Ms. Jones, what are your thoughts on a functional behavior assessment?
It sounds like a good idea. I don't have a problem with it.
Sure, we want to have any information that can help Tyler.
But I was told it would take weeks before that could happen. And I want help for Tyler right now. He's already been held back in kindergarten once, so it's really important that we start taking some serious action right away.
Yeah.
He needs an aide immediately. And while we're at it, I would really like him to have more time in art class. He really loves art, and that would be great for him.
Okay, I suggest that we put the subject of more art instruction in the parking lot to discuss at another meeting. I'm going to write it on the board so we don't forget it. For now, let's see if we can agree on services and placement for Tyler to support his behavior so he can be as successful as possible. At the beginning of the meeting, that's what we agreed the focus should be for today.
In this vignette, you'll see the facilitator guide the team through the process of developing an action plan. Just as in any IEP meeting, by the end of the meeting, the team has developed a completed IEP for Tyler that is ready to be signed by the parents and the school representatives.
So we talked about the specific types of help that Tyler would need, like having someone to keep him on task during reading time and to help him play positively with the other children, and to help him transition from one area to another without trying to hide or run away. We listed those services, but we still had the problem of whether or not they would provide a full-time aide. We put off solving that issue since it was the most challenging. When we got back to it after agreeing on the other things, we were able to make some progress.
Let's throw some ideas out, okay?
Ms. Green, do you think that you could identify the times when Tyler has the most trouble staying on task and when he's most likely to act out or to try to run away?
Well, it's definitely during reading and story time. And then when we're coming back from lunch or the playground or special areas. He does okay on the way to lunch and to other fun things, but when we're on our way back from those things, he always tries to avoid returning to class.
What if we assign a paraprofessional to work with him during those times as soon as possible while we work on getting the behavioral assessment done? That way we would all feel more comfortable about the safety situation, and we would be putting Tyler in a better position to engage with story time and reading. Then, when the behavioral assessment results come in, we can meet again. We can figure out a plan that's based on real data about Tyler's behavior, giving him a good chance to succeed.
That sounds good.
Okay, that's a new suggestion, so let me make sure we understand it. For now, an aide would be assigned to Tyler during those parts of the day that Ms. Green says are the most difficult for him. A functional behavior assessment would be scheduled as soon as possible, and once the results are in, the team will meet again to determine if that plan needs to change. Is that right, Ms. Moss? Does everyone understand Ms. Moss's proposal? What are your responses to that proposal?
Everyone agreed that it was reasonable, so we wrote it into an action plan. We agreed to have an aide for the most challenging parts of Tyler's day right away, and to get the functional behavior assessment done as soon as possible. Then we'll get back together for another meeting to talk about the results. I think the whole team felt like we had accomplished something important. Things are going so well. The teacher says that Tyler and all of the other children are responding well to having the paraprofessional in the classroom part-time.
That's so great.
I mean, we'll need to meet again after we get the results of the behavior assessment, and we may decide to make some changes, but at least we know how to work together now. I don't think that we'll need a facilitator again, but if I do, I know I can request one. The facilitated IEP process really helped us communicate better and become partners in Tyler's education. I'd recommend it to any family.
I feel the same, obviously. Having a facilitator at the meeting really helped the team get things done. And in the long run, it's going to help our children be successful.
Tyler, can I see your picture?
Thank you for viewing these vignettes about facilitated IEP meetings. For more information on training, visit the Fiddler's website, www.fdlrs.org. To request a facilitated IEP meeting, visit this website and then go to the link for complaint resolution and find your district's contact person.